So I got bored and I started cooking some stuff up here on the whiteboard, and I decided to make an entire video dedicated to showing you exactly how to get views on the YouTube platform. There's so much information out there. There's so much misinformation out there that it's absolutely insane. So I wanted to make a video where I literally just show you A to Z, every single thing that you need to know to get views on the YouTube platform. So we're going to start off here, and before you say anything, no, I don't have pink eye. I busted a blood vessel in my eye lifting weights, so that's why my eye looks a little bit red. It's not pink eye, okay, I promise. But let's start off with the very first thing, and we're going to kind of go in order of how this thing works. I want you to visualize getting views on YouTube as if it's somewhat of a funnel, okay? Similar to a sales funnel, but just visualize it as if it's a funnel, okay? And the top of the funnel, you have to get traffic to your channel so that we can even convert. We even have the opportunity to convert these people into views. So the top of the funnel are just to get impressions on your YouTube channel. And if you don't know what an impression is, it's just someone seeing your video. Your video getting put on the homepage of someone, or maybe they searched your video up, or showed up in search, whatever the case is, somebody saw your video, that's an impression. So how do we get impressions? Because a lot of people who join my program or comment on these videos, they say, Justin, I'm not even getting impressions on my video. What the hell do I do to even have people be shown my stuff so I can convert them with my titles, thumbnails, etc.? Well, here's exactly what you do. So keywords are extremely important when it comes to getting impressions. And what a keyword is, and this is my definition of a keyword for the YouTube platform, it's not search or anything like that. It's words that tell the YouTube algorithm who your video is for. Right? Words that key the algorithm in on exactly who it is that you are talking to in this video, who you want this video to be shown to. That's what a keyword is. But how do you use those keywords, right? We use them obviously in the title of the video. That's base level knowledge. Every single person knows that the title of your video should include words that you want your audience to be keyed in on, right? Like that you want the YouTube algorithm to key in on to show the video to a certain audience. Everybody knows that. But here's a secret weapon that I don't see anybody else talking about that I use, right? I use something called a transcript push. Okay, so we use the transcript of the video because that's what YouTube weighs the heaviest nowadays. YouTube doesn't weigh the description very heavy at all because they know from the beginning of time, from the beginning of the YouTube platform and people making money from YouTube, the description of the video has been manipulated for people to get views, spamming hashtags in the description. I'm sure some of you guys remember the days of spamming hashtags in the description, or spamming keywords even if they're not in hashtag form in the description. Now we use the description. I'm gonna go over that in a second, but we use this thing called a transcript push, where if you watch the beginning of any of my videos, even on this video that I did right here, but more importantly on the cash cow channels that I do, on Justin Reloaded, for example, the first 30 seconds to a minute long is just me repeating the keywords in a spoken word version, right? Because the transcript of the video can actually be seen. If you scroll down in the description of any video on YouTube, you can click show transcript and it will show you the transcript of the video. YouTube does that for you. You don't have to go in and do that. It does it for you. And it's weighing this transcript heavier than anything else because it cannot be manipulated. So you use the transcript to your advantage with keywords by repeating keywords over and over again inside of the transcript itself. Because if you manipulated a YouTube transcript the same way that you would manipulate a description, it would look like me standing on this video right here and just saying how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on YouTube for 10 minutes. And nobody's going to watch that. So YouTube feels comfortable with weighting the transcript the heaviest because you cannot manipulate a transcript like you could with a video description. Now, we also use the description in tandem with the transcript and the title. It all has to work together. Right? So what we do for the description is we write in paragraph format, right? Not just spamming the keywords, but in paragraph format. So 4, 5 to 7 sentences, we write sentences including these keywords, right? So for example, for this video, and you can use ChatGPT to write this as well. I don't know why this thing keeps slipping. I'm sorry if you're hearing that on the audio, but it's literally just slipping and hurting the shit out of my finger. Regardless though, you can use ChatGPT to write this. So if you look in the description of this video, it will probably be 5, 6, 7 sentences long saying the same exact thing basically. It's just saying this video is about getting views on YouTube over and over and over again. You use that for every niche, every video. Just do that thing, okay? Now, that helps you out with targeting. When you use all these things in tandem, the title, the description, and most importantly, the transcript, the thing that everybody ignores. I've never even seen anybody talk about that except for me to this day. And then also there's some small things you can do in the background too, like the file name of the video. Now, we know that does hold some weight. I don't think it's very much weight, but if it holds any weight at all, you might as well do it, because it's going to have this compounding effect. Whereas you have the title, the description, the transcript, and the file name of the video all saying these same keywords, it makes it as obvious to the algorithm who these videos are for. And that's exactly what we want to do to get impressions on our videos. Now, we have the impressions, right? We know how to get impressions. How do you convert these impressions, right? That's top of funnel. Now we're in the middle of funnel where you need to nurture. You need to convert these people into views. How do you do that? Well, now we go to the converting section, which is CTR, click-through rate, right? And click-through rate, if you don't know, it's the percentage of people who are being shown your video who actually click the video. So if you have a 10% CTR or click-through rate, that means 10% of the people who were shown your video actually clicked the video. So number one, for converting, for CTR, everybody, whenever they think of click-through rate, they think, oh yeah, here goes Justin. He's talking about the same thing that everybody else talks about when it comes to CTR, titles and thumbnails, right? Nope. It's actually not titles and thumbnails at all that holds the most weight. As you can see, I don't actually know if you can see, but it doesn't matter. Topics are the most important thing right here. Topics are the most important thing when it comes to converting people into viewers, into people clicking your video. Topic selection is king. Everybody talks about titles and thumbnails. If you have a great topic, what I've realized is if you have a great topic and a great system for choosing topics, the right topics consistently, you can have a dog shit title and thumbnail and you're going to get views. That's what I've realized. And so I topics selection gets all of my energy. And then titles and thumbnails are just like, obviously I put time into them, but not even close to as much as topic selection. Topic selection is by far and away the most important part of actually converting people to your YouTube videos. And if you don't know how to select topics properly, I have this thing called the pocket system. You really have to visualize it to be able to see. And like people who join my coaching program, I walk them through step by step how to use the pocket system for their specific channel. I can't go over all of that in this video, but I do have other videos on this channel where I go over the pocket system, and I've shown it before. If you use the pocket system correctly, you are never going to select a wrong video ever. You're never going to select the wrong video. And that's going to boost your CTR so much. Like that can literally double your CTR overnight just by using the pocket system. And obviously if you double your CTR, you double your views and you double the money in your bank account. Okay. So number two, obviously thumbnails. Everybody understands thumbnails are very, very important. They're not as important as topic selection, but they are very important. No doubt about it. The thing is though, that the thumbnail meta, the most effective tactics available are ever changing. They're always changing. And so the same Mr. Beast style thumbnails that have worked for the last 10 years, they don't really work anymore. Things are changing. People are looking super desperate now with their thumbnails. You have to use what we use inside of my program, what I teach my clients to do, is we look less desperate and we use more psychological hacks, right? Like kind of background psychological hacks to make people, to basically force people to click on our videos. I know that sounds evil, that sounds bad, whatever, but we're not making them rob a bank, right? We're making them click a YouTube video. It's no big deal, right? Let me give you a couple of examples of these psychological tricks that we would use. I wish I could show you, but this is a whiteboard video and I'm standing up, so I can't do anything. But for example, there's something called leading lines, okay? And if you just put, if you use the same type of tactics that everybody else uses, like I said, they look super desperate. But let's say, I'll just try to draw something really quick just so you can get the gist, right? Let's say this is a thumbnail. It's just a little stick figure, but let's just say this is a thumbnail, right? This is a person, it's a celebrity, whatever. A lot of people would put like big words here and arrow here, and like that's fine or whatever. But what we like to do is this covert thing. I call it leading lines, right? And it's really just like two random green lines coming from the outside of the thumbnail, pointing towards the middle. And to the average viewer, right, to the untrained eye, to someone who's not looking for stuff like this, it just looks like two random green lines were drawn, right? It just looks like two random green lines, like, oh, this person, it's like charming because it looks like you're such an amateur that you randomly just put two green lines on your thumbnail. So it makes you look so not desperate that it's charming. But the thing is, you're actually psychologically hacking the person into looking at your thumbnail. This is just one little thing, by the way. There's like hundreds of little things that I do like this for my thumbnails. Not on this channel because this is like purely educational. But For my other channels, the cash cow channels, I do like hundreds of these little things, right? And say that these green lines are pointing towards the middle of your thumbnail. What they're doing is, without looking desperate with the flashy arrows that everybody uses, like it doesn't work anymore because everybody knows what you're trying to do. When you use these random green lines, it brings attention towards the center of your thumbnail, but also at the same time, more importantly, it's taking attention off of all of the surrounding thumbnails and bringing attention towards yours. So it's going to make people infinitely more likely to actually click on your video versus the other ones because it's taking the attention off of theirs, right? And it's also a very covert way without looking super desperate like everybody else is for the views. So it makes it charming. There's another thing I call it the uncanny valley effect. And I'm sure you've seen this before, but I don't know if you've been intentionally looking at it to where you can actually notice that this is the uncanny valley effect. What that is let's say we take someone's head and we put it on a different body that they don't belong on. And you can tell that it's out of place, right? It's like alarming to the subconscious. You're just scanning, and then, whoa, that guy doesn't belong there. That's exactly what we want, right? So we place, on my channels, we place hands out of place, right? Hands are super important. We place hands out of place and we'll like be flipping off the camera, but it's very obviously the hand is way too large to be that person's hand. Right? It doesn't fit with the rest of their body. Or we'll put a head on a body that just doesn't fit. And what that does is once again, you're subconsciously just scanning the YouTube homepage, and all of a sudden you're just looking, you're like, whoa. Something's off right there. I have to figure it out. What did we just do? We took this person's attention away from every other thumbnail surrounding it, and now they're focused on our thumbnail and only our thumbnail, which gives us infinitely more likelihood that they will click our video versus all the surrounding videos, because none of the other videos got their attention like that. And this is, like I said, this is just 2 of the hundreds of little tricks that I use on my thumbnails that you have to learn how to do. If you don't learn how to do these psychological tricks, you're going to be just like everybody else, looking all desperate instead of using these covert ways to get people to click your video. And then we also have titles, right? Titles are obviously very important as well. The meta is always changing for titles as well as thumbnails, so it's tough to give you like definitive, here is how you do a good title. But once again, there's keywords and there's buzzwords for every title. Every good title has keywords and buzzwords, right? Buzzword phrases are words that differentiate your videos from the videos that are similar to it. Keyword phrases are words that key the algorithm in on who the video is for, right? Buzzword example. Alex Hormozy does really good buzzwords on his videos. So obviously Alex Hormozy, if you don't know, he does a lot of make money content, right? How to be better at business, basically. And a lot of his stuff, if it was generic, would look just like everybody else's videos that are also make money videos. But what Alex Hormozy does is he does buzzwords very, very well. So for example, he'll be like, how to make so much money that it makes you physically ill, or how to make so much money that it makes you sick, right? Everybody else is just making how to make money content. Alex Hormozy is making so much money, showing you how to make so much money that it makes you physically ill. That's a buzzword phrase, that it makes you sick, right? Or how to get filthy rich this Black Friday. Okay, it's not just how to get rich like everybody else is doing. It's how to get filthy rich this Black Friday. It differentiates the videos. Those are just a couple examples, but it differentiates the videos that are like it, right? So keywords and buzzwords for titles. There's so much I could talk about for titles, but I don't want to make this a 3-hour long video. So now we got the impressions, right? So we got the top of the funnel. People are coming in. People are seeing your stuff. Now you know how to convert them with click-through rate, with topics, titles, thumbnails, right? Now we need to learn how to make them stay so they watch longer of your video. And then obviously YouTube loves when people are watching your video for a long time, but also they can watch more ads if they stay longer on the video. So they get to make you more money, your RPM goes up, and you get more money in your bank account the longer these people are staying on your videos. How do we do that? One of my favorite ways, and it's not going to be applicable to every single channel. Not every single channel can do this, but most channels can do it. My favorite way to get people to stay on videos the longest, and it's so low-hanging fruit, it's so damn easy, it takes you 2 seconds to do, is what we call a cold open. And all a cold open is we take the framing of the video. So whatever the framing of the video is, let's use my Justin Reloaded channel for an example. Bill Maher destroys a guest that he brought onto his show, right? Bill Maher destroys Gavin Newsom, an epic clip. we take that framing, right? We obviously going to use the title and the thumbnail and frame it in that way so people are interested in that moment. And all we're going to do with the cold open to hook people into the video is we're going to show them the lead up to the climax of the video. We're going to show them the lead up to Bill Maher destroying the person that goes on his show. And what this does is it does a few different things. Because there's so much clickbait out there, it's going to show the person who's watching immediately that what was promised in this video is going to be delivered. But it also does two things at once because it acts as a hook, right? And a lot of people will take Mr. Beast's advice, and no offense to Mr. Beast, obviously the dude's really good at YouTube, but you don't have to do it the way that he does it. There's a different way that you can do it that's a whole lot easier. They take Mr. Beast's advice and they spend 3 to 5 hours on a hook for a video. But what this does is it acts as a hook that's just as good, if not better, as a hook that you would spend 3 to 5 hours coming up with. And it does it in 2 seconds because you're just taking 15 seconds from the video, the lead up to the climax, and you can even put the climax. Just don't make it obvious that that was the climax, right? Just make it seem like there's going to be more to it, so they have to keep watching to see what happens next. So many things do this, right? Like movies do this all the time, where they'll show like a crazy moment happening, like a superhero movie will be like a crazy fight's happening, and then all of a sudden the screen just goes black and it's like 5 years before or something like that. It's the same concept. We're just showing them what's going to happen 10 minutes into the video, giving them a little taste of it so they know that it's going to happen. And they also know how crazy it's going to be when it does happen. But we're not showing them the whole thing, right? That's a cold open. Hopefully that made sense. Number 2 for keeping people to stay is optimize for viewer experience. Dude, I see so many people making this mistake where they're like making content that they want to make versus focusing on making content that people actually want to watch. It's really that. It sounds so simple, but nobody does it. Just think about you when you're watching a video and think about the times when you would double tap the screen to fast forward 10 seconds. And don't ever do the things that you would fast forward through. It's as simple as that, guys. Stop asking for subscriptions all the damn time. The only time that I ever ask for subscriptions is when I'm trying to break up a video that I'm reacting to or commentating on or something like that to avoid copyright. It's just an excuse for me to try and break up the clip so I can avoid copyright. That's the only time I ever ask for subscribers. Because subscribers are irrelevant. They don't make you money. Who cares about subscribers? It's cool to have play buttons and all that stuff, but it's irrelevant at the end of the day, man. It just doesn't matter. So optimize for the viewer experience. Stop advertising stuff. Stop asking for subscribers. Stop asking for likes and all this other nonsense. And just optimize for the viewer experience. Stop heavy editing as well. That's another thing. Whenever people are like, oh, I need to improve my watch time and my average view duration and all this stuff, they're like the thing that they always go to is I need to edit my videos more. I need more heavy editing inside of my videos. You don't need to do that. That's, once again, the old way of thinking, the old way of doing YouTube. It doesn't really work anymore. People are kind of done with that. Like they realize that their brains have been fried and they don't want that heavy editing stuff anymore. They want to feel like a human again, right? Not just like a robot that's stuck in a trap, stuck in a rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos. They don't want to feel like that anymore. So stop heavy editing so much and just focus on optimizing for the viewer experience, and they will stay. The last thing on this is just get straight to it, man. Stop opening up your videos with, what's up guys, it's Justin back with another video. This one's going to be a banger, I promise. Just shut up. Shut the hell up. Nothing pisses me off more than that. Nothing. Because that is the number one time when I'm double tapping the screen to go to the next, to skip 10 seconds, or I'm possibly just going to click off the video. Because you're now disrespecting my time. Stop disrespecting your viewers' time by saying, what's up guys, it's Justin back with another banger. Shut the hell up. Nobody cares. If it's Justin back with another banger, they already know. They click the video. They know exactly what channel name they click. Like, they know, man. Just get into the video, okay? Get into exactly what the viewer is there for. It's not about you, okay? Now, you know how to get impressions, you know how to convert them, and you know how to make them stay on the video to keep watching. But now we get to the bottom of the funnel, which is monetizing. We have to make money, right? That's what this is all about, is making money from your YouTube channels. Views are nothing if we're not converting them into dollars, right? So how do we do that? My favorite way and the most simple way is mid-roll ads, okay? Mid-roll ads on your videos. You're just going to place them manually. There's a Google Chrome extension that you can use that will automatically place them on your videos to not, because if you're like me, I'm posting 6 to 8 videos every single day across my channels. If I had to click manually for every single mid-roll ad, I would get carpal tunnel very fast. So shout out to that. Whoever made that Google Chrome extension, you are a G. I appreciate you so much. So if you're like me and you're posting multiple videos every day, get the Chrome extension. It's just called Ad Placer, I believe. It will save your life. Mid-roll ads are my favorite way because it's super easy. You don't have to ask your subscribers or your viewers to do anything. You don't have to ask them to go buy merch or, go super chat you or anything like that. They're just watching your video. The ads are expected. They're not blaming you for placing the ads. They just think it's YouTube, so they don't really care that you're placing 100 mid-roll ads, which, by the way, I would optimize and place as many mid-roll ads as you possibly humanly can. And I understand that YouTube's making an update in May to mid-roll ads. We don't even know what that's going to be at this point. They rolled it out this early, or they announced it this early because I think they wanted to hear the feedback before they actually officially roll it out. And there's a lot of feedback. They've already made some changes, so don't freak out about that. As of right now, I'm just placing as many mid-roll ads as I humanly can to optimize for the highest RPM that I possibly can. And by the way, just because you place the mid-roll ads on the video, it's already not showing all of the mid-roll ads that you place. Like, that's already a thing, and it's been a thing for a very long time. It's only going to show the mid-roll ads that they know that specific viewer will tolerate. So if there's mid-roll ads that they know a viewer will not tolerate that you placed on your video, they're not going to show it. And that's been a thing for a long ass time, as long as I can remember. So that's already a thing. So just go crazy, place all the mid-roll ads, you'll be fine. Okay. Number 2 thing you have to do if you want to turn these viewers into money is avoid copyright. And this is something that a lot of people really get scared of whenever they get into the YouTube thing. Like, a lot of people will join my program and like the first thing that they ask me is how to avoid copyright when they've never posted a video before. And I'm just like, dude, you don't have to worry about copyright right now. You can't even make money if you wanted to because your channel's not monetized. Like, we got to get monetized first and then we worry about copyright later. But then once you get monetized, copyright can be a big issue for you. There's so many ways to avoid copyright. There is no, by the way, before you ask me in the comments, there is no certain amount of time that you have to talk inside of your video, or that you have to have AI voice talk or whatever for you to not get copyrighted. There is no specific time. Copyright law is very subjective and it sucks because there is, I wish there were specific parameters that we can just say, okay, if I play this amount of video, then I'm good and I won't get copyrighted, but that's not the case, right? It's just not. It sucks, but it's subjective. So you got to do your best and learn your niche. Learn which people in your niche you can take clips from and which ones you can't. And if you're taking clips from people who are kind of on the fence, then you know that you need to add more input yourself, or you need to add more AI voiceover, or whatever the case is. But you have to avoid copyright. Now, there's other ways you can avoid copyright too. I can't release this to the public because I know that as soon as I release it, everybody's going to use it and then YouTube's going to clamp down on it. But there are like filters you can put up on your video that I give people inside of my program that they can just download and put it over the video. There are filters you can do that with that help a ton. And I have this one filter that has never failed me to avoid the copyright thing, even when all else failed. But you have to learn how to avoid copyright. And it's different for every niche. Like the music reaction niche is going to be pretty tough because it's just really hard to avoid copyright on music, but there are ways you can do it. You can use YouTube Music. You can reach out to the artist directly. A lot of my clients have actually had a lot of success with just reaching out to the artist directly and reaching out to the creators directly in general and just saying, hey, like I'll provide you credit, but just please don't copyright my videos. And that has actually worked really well. So you can do that. But the best thing that you can do is just learn your niche, learn the people who you can take videos from and take clips from, learn the ones that you can't, and then just act accordingly. Like just it's as simple as that. But then also you can use the filters and it's really just about trial and error with how much you have to talk and how much you need your own input and your own original content to be able to monetize the videos. But learning the copyright stuff early is going to help you out so much and help you make so much money. Next thing we have is merchandise. So many people leave so much money on the table by not selling merchandise to their audience. And when people think of merch, they always think like, oh, I need to sell t-shirts. That's it. That's the answer. T-shirts. No, man, like get creative with it. Not every single channel needs to sell t-shirts. How much clothes do you think these people need? They only need so many shirts. I wear like 10 shirts. I don't need to keep buying shirts from everybody that I go watch on YouTube. Get creative with it. That's what I do with my clients is like, I'm like, what is your audience? What do they really want? They don't want another t-shirt. I can promise you that. Some niches do like t-shirts, but not everyone, right? Some of them will like mugs. Some of them like survival kits and things like that. You got to get creative with it, right? You got to go find very high profit products that your audience genuinely wants. Like, what do they really, really want? That's what you have to find out. Sometimes they just want more of you, so you can go get a Patreon or something. But sometimes they want a product. Sometimes they like mugs. Sometimes they like trinkets. Sometimes they like bumper stickers. Sometimes they like survival kits like I talked about. Sometimes they like meal prepping services. I don't know. But you go find the merchandise that they genuinely want, that they genuinely desire, and also make sure that they're high profit and they're not a lot of headaches to where you have to physically do all the packaging and all that other nonsense. You know, and there's very creative way. You got to get creative with it though. And merchandise, if you're not using it, you need to use it because you're leaving so much money on the table, man. And if you're doing like print on demand shirts or bumper stickers or something like that, dude, it's autopilot. Like you just get the design made on Fiverr for like $20. You list it on your channel and they just make sales and print and ship it for you. Like, and it doesn't have to be shirts. It can be so many different things, but you're just leaving so much money on the table and it's just free. You don't have to put much effort into it at all. It's just free money. And then the last thing, it's probably the most overlooked thing and the thing you can make the most money off of if you do it properly is sponsorships. There's so many different ways you can get sponsors. A very easy way, if you're starting out and you're not getting sponsors knocking down your door, is just look at the other channels in your niche, look at who they're sponsored by, and just start reaching out to those sponsors. You know, and there's a template that I have. I hate to keep saying this, but it's like, I do give a template out to people inside of my program. And they reach out to these sponsors, and these sponsors, they love it. They're like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know, these sponsors, they're looking for people to sponsor actively. So if you can reach out to them with a really well-written email that shows the value that you can provide to them, they're going to sponsor your videos. And these sponsors pay a shit ton of money. The reason why sponsors are so important is because you can just show them, if you show them the value that you can provide in the right way, not only are you going to be making this, let's say, for example, you make an average of $1,000 per video that you post, right? And you show that to the sponsor and you're like, hey, I average $1,000 per video that I post. So for you, I want to charge you $1,000 for one video. They're going to say, okay, makes sense. You know, makes complete sense. You make $1,000 on the ads of your video already. Why wouldn't you charge me $1,000? So now you're making $1,000 from your video, from just the mid-roll ads. And then also you're making an extra $1,000 from the sponsor. And if you do a good job with the ad read, you do a good job with the sponsorship, you do a good job maintaining that relationship, you're going to be getting paid for a very long time. And you could possibly get, you know, big deals where you're like, okay, this worked really well. It converted really well for you. It brought you a lot of new audience members or new traffic. Let's do a year-long deal. That's a lot of money, man. Like for me, I'm posting 2 videos a day for every single channel that I have. If I was doing $1,000 per video, which that's a lot, okay? Let's say $500 per video. Damn, that's really hard math, okay? Let's just say it's $1,000 per video and I'm only posting 1 video a day because I don't like doing math live like that. That's tough. That's $365,000 that they would be paying you up front. That's a lot of money. It'd probably be like half that, but even $150,000 that they're paying you up front for a full year of sponsorships, that's not uncommon, guys. That's not uncommon at all. For them to pay you, you know, for a full year or 6 months. Let's say it's even $50,000 for 6 months. That's a good bit of money that you're going to be getting paid up front for doing things that you would already be doing anyway, and you're making money off of the mid-roll ads too. You need to be optimizing for every method of monetization, not just mid-roll ads, even though mid-roll ads is a very good way to monetize. You need to optimize for all this stuff because you can quite literally more than double your YouTube revenue and your YouTube income overnight by optimizing for this stuff. I'm not just being hyperbolic. I swear you can do that if you know how to do it the right way. So now we move to tenacity, which is part of the 5 T's, you know, topics, titles, thumbnails, time, and tenacity. Move to tenacity, okay? A lot of people will join my program and they tell me that they're so serious about YouTube. Justin, this is the time. I'm locking in. I'm making this happen. And then they'll show up to group calls and I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Like, how's everything going? You know, you doing well? And they're like, yeah, man, it's going great. Like I'm hitting my uploads and I'm getting really good views, but I'm going on vacation next week. So I'm going to miss a few uploads. And I immediately think, You are unserious. You're not serious about this. I thought you were serious. You're breaking my heart right now. Hit your uploads every single day. I do not care what your excuse is. I don't care if you go into a baby shower or a wedding and you got to go out of town. I don't care if you go on a vacation that you planned 3 years ago with your family. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care what creative excuse you can come up with. Hit your uploads every single day. And if you're not uploading every single day, hit your uploads every other day. I don't care what your excuse is. The only excuse that exists is I'm really sick and I cannot speak. If I try to speak on camera, I'm going to sound, really bad, and I don't want to give my audience a terrible experience, so I'm not going to make a video today. That's the only excuse that exists. Not, oh, I went fishing this morning and I'm really tired, so I'm not going to make a video. You're not serious, and you might as well just quit because you're not going to make it. You're not. I'm sorry, but you're not going to make it. Not, I'm going on vacation next week, and I really just want to enjoy and relax. It's okay. Enjoy and relax, man. Just record your videos before you go. It's as simple as that. But these people come up with so many creative excuses to just do everything except for the thing itself. Just put the work in and hit your uploads every single day. You can save your excuses. I don't give a shit. Upload your videos, okay? Now, I'm sure you guys have seen this quote going around recently, that until death, all defeat is psychological. And that is 100% true. Every single piece of failure is in your head. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but every piece of failure is only in your brain. Right? Failure only exists because you perceive it as failure. If you just stop perceiving things as failure, you don't fail anymore until death. That's the only time that you can fail is when you die and you can no longer put in any more progress. That's when you have officially failed. Okay? But until then, just keep going. Just keep uploading. It's not failure. If you're getting 0 views on a video, it's not failure. As long as you're learning something from it, as long as you're improving every single video, you're intentionally doing things to get better, to get more views in the future. You're getting better at thumbnails. You're getting better at titles. You're getting better at topic selection. It's not even close to failure if you're doing all those things. It's actually a massive success. Even if you get 0 views, it's a massive success if you're improving on all of these things every single time you upload. It's inevitable that you're going to blow up. It's inevitable. If you're doing all those things, it might take you some time, but it's inevitable. If you're doing all that the right way, it's going to happen, dude. It's a law of nature. I don't know. I don't want to pretend like I know the laws of nature, but I know for a fact that if I'm pushing on a rock hard enough, the rock is eventually going to move. I don't care how heavy the rock is. If I go get heavy machinery and I try to move the rock, eventually the rock is going to move. If I keep putting in effort every single day, I push as hard as I can. And maybe I go get a friend, and then maybe I go get 1,000 friends. Eventually the rock is going to move if I push it hard enough. So if every single day you're compounding on getting better at titles, getting better at thumbnails, getting better at descriptions and transcripts and all this stuff, every single day you're getting better and better and better and better and better, the rock is eventually going to move, man. But you got to stick with it and stop thinking that every single video that you post that doesn't get a million views is a failure. It's not a failure. That's in your head. You're perceiving it as failure, so it becomes failure. But it's not a failure. It's not. Now, another thing that I get all the time is, oh, Justin, I can't get views on my channel because I'm shadow banned. What? You're shadow banned? Buddy, you're not that important. Who do you think you are to be shadow banned? You're not shadow banned, idiot. You just suck at YouTube and you use an excuse that comforts you to say that you're shadow banned. Like, I get that all the time. It's like, oh, you just got lucky on your channels because you went undetected in the algorithm. So you get to talk about these things without getting shadow banned. You sound like an absolute fool, man. An absolute clown. You're not shadow banned. You're not that important, dumbass. I saw this one person that I know and I actually respect him a ton. But on Twitter, he was talking the other day and he has like almost 1 million subscribers or something like that. He might have 1 million subscribers. I'm not going to say who it is, but he tweeted out the other day and he was like, somebody tweeted at him and said, I'm surprised you don't have 1 million subscribers yet. And he was like, oh, I would, but YouTube suppressed my subscriber growth a long time ago. Now, how the hell would YouTube even suppress subscriber growth? Tell me how that happens. How does that happen? The subscriber button exists on a video. Do they sometimes remove the subscribe button from certain people who watch your video so they can't subscribe? How does that even happen? It doesn't. That's the answer. It's a trick question. It doesn't happen. The people have just convinced themselves that they are such victims that YouTube is out to get them all the time. I'm just doing this so my marker doesn't dry up. But people are so convinced that YouTube is out to get them and that they're such victims that Every single thing that happens to them that's bad is never their fault. It's always YouTube is out to get them. It's always they're so important that they're shadow banned and YouTube is after. Dude, this is coming from someone who had their channel completely banned for no reason at all. I refuse to be a victim. I don't care if it is true that you are shadow banned, that YouTube is suppressing your subscriber growth. I don't care if it's true. It does not serve me to believe those things. So why would I believe them? It takes power away from me to believe those things, so I'm not going to believe them. I refuse. It's like saying, oh, I can't be successful because one time my mom told me that I can't be successful and that really scarred me from life. You're giving your mom all of the power in your life. Why would you, even if it's true that she did say that and it did scar you for life, why would you believe that you can never overcome that when that takes power away from you as a person? You sound like an idiot. You sound like an idiot. Stop thinking that way. YouTube does not care about you, bro. You're not shadow banned. I promise you, you're not shadow banned. You just suck and you need to get better. It's okay. The first step is realizing that it's your fault. Okay? Also, you need to remove all negativity from your life. What we are trying to do and what we are trying to accomplish is very difficult. And if it wasn't difficult, everybody would do it because everybody wants to live this life. Everybody. You ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, they all say YouTubers. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would do it. This is a difficult path, especially when you're doing it on your own. You cannot afford to have people in your ear telling you, dude, you need to give up on that YouTube thing. It's never going to work out. Dude, you need to go get a 9-to-5 job. It's never going to work out. If I had $1 for every single time that somebody told me to give up and just go work a job, I wouldn't need to work because I'd already be rich. Every single time that I would have a big win on YouTube, I would go tell my parents, and my mom would always say, that's great, but you're not quitting your job, right? And it would always just bug me so much, like that little bit of negativity. And then when I started other businesses, I would make sales and I would always reinvest the money back into the business so I can make more money. And every single time I would tell my mom, hey, I made a sale today, but I reinvested it, she would just say, but when are you going to turn a profit, Justin? And I can't tell you how much that negativity bugged the shit out of me. And it really did, it brought me down. Especially if this negativity is coming from people who you genuinely care about their opinion and you value their opinion, like a parent or like a close friend, it's going to mess with you, man. You can't afford to have that. So I eventually just stopped telling my parents anything about business at all because I knew what the response was going to be and it would never make me happy. You know, I just wanted to be proud of getting a viral video or making a sale in a certain business, and they would just never allow me to just be proud. You know, there would always be negativity that followed. So I just stopped talking to them. Just remove the negativity. You know, another thing that is a lot, sometimes really negative for me, is when I play video games with my friends. A lot of times there's just so much negative energy in those calls and in the video game. Sometimes I just got to delete all video games and just lock in for a few months. And then I can come back and it's refreshed and things are fresh and new. And I've probably had a lot of wins in my business, so it's okay. But after a while, like it starts to bog me down. It starts to really get to me. This stuff is too hard. It's too difficult for you to have negative energy and negativity surrounding you. You have to eliminate it. You got to extinguish it. You got to get rid of it. Far, far away. You got it, no option. You have to. It's not an option. Okay. Now we get into the timing part of this. Timing is so important and so many people overlook this. I know this video is getting kind of long, so we got to start speeding through this. Number one, when it comes to timing, is prioritize newer videos. Okay. So if a topic that you can cover is new, just do that thing. Very easy, right? Just prioritize the newer videos. Prioritize things that are actually news and that are relevant time-wise. If the video is older though, and you have some videos that are winning and you want to follow those videos up with more similar videos, but there's nothing breaking news, there's nothing new that you can cover. If they're older, just frame them as new, right? For example, if you're pulling from a Joe Rogan podcast from 5 years ago, and it's Joe Rogan talking shit about Michael Jordan, instead of saying an old resurfaced clip, Joe Rogan talks shit about Michael Jordan, just say Joe Rogan just destroyed Michael Jordan in podcast. Just is a relative term. Just to a 90-year-old could be, I don't know, 50 years ago, right? Just to a 5-year-old is going to be 2 minutes ago. Just is a relative term. It's not lying. You're just framing a video as if it's new. It's not. It's okay. Okay. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'll take the money. Okay. Number three, you want to use so many different platforms to be able to stay on top of this breaking news. You can use YouTube, you can use X or Twitter, you can use lists on there and just put everybody who tweets out things that you would cover inside of a Twitter or X list. So anytime you want to go make a new video, you can just open up that list, and instead of having to like scour the entirety of the platform, you can just look at this list and come up with infinite video ideas. YouTube, just follow people who are in your niche or who often post videos that you can, you know, bounce off of or use as clips to commentate over or whatever you do on your channel. Just follow people. I mean, YouTube is going to be the best place to find these videos and stay on top of things. But then also Google Trends will show you what's trending at a certain point in time, and also it will show you what's likely to trend in the near future. So Google Trends is a very powerful tool to use as well. Also, you need to understand that people want to stay up to date. FOMO is a real thing, and it's very, very powerful. So if you play into people's FOMO by covering trending topics and covering breaking news, people want to stay up to date. The last thing they want to do is join a Discord call with their friends late at night playing video games and be out of the loop of what's happening. So if you frame it as, this is a huge thing that just happened, you got to see this before everybody else does or before they take it down, whatever, you tap into people's FOMO, they're going to click the video. Okay. So that's timing. Make sure that you're up to date or covering, you know, current stuff. Man, I could just talk for hours and hours about this stuff. It genuinely is the most important part, right? There's only so much I can teach you about YouTube tactics, but when it comes to the mindset side of things, I can teach you infinite things, and I can still learn infinite things. That's why it's so valuable, right? And one of, if not the most valuable thing that you can do at this point in time is unlearn all of the wrong, incorrect, limiting beliefs that you have learned. And it's not really you learning, they've been implanted inside of you by society, by teachers, by social media, by parents. Whatever they're implanted, there's so many limiting beliefs that you have to unlearn. And once you unlearn them, you're going to be successful so fast, man. Think in your brain right now, what is a lot of money monthly? Whatever you came up with is a lie. Whatever you came up with. If you're making 2K a month right now, you probably thought, oh, 5K a month is a lot of money. No, the hell it's not. What can you do with 5K a month? You can survive. What can you do with 10K a month? Survive. You can't do shit. You can't. I know that 10K a month probably sounds like a whole lot of money to you right now. It's not. And once you make 10K a month, you're going to realize it's not. And once you break that belief, and there's a lot of different things you can do. For me, the easiest way that I broke the belief, or the way that I broke the belief, was I joined a coaching program from this guy. His name's Brandon Forbes. I joined his coaching program, and I got around people who every single day they're having group calls, and I'm around these people, and you'll just hear them say, hey man, how's business going? And they're like, oh, I just made 75K this month, and you know, a bit of a down month. It sucks, but hopefully we bounce back next month. And I'm just sitting there like, this kid is 19 years old. I'm smarter than him. I'm more competent than him. And he's making 75K. Why the hell did I just make 8K last month? What is wrong with me? And everybody else, you know, I feel like a king, right? Because I'm making 10K a month. I'm not working a job. I'm not miserable every day. And I'm around these people who are working 9-to-5 jobs that hate their jobs, and they're making 4K a month. And I'm like, dude, I'm a king. I made it. I did it. And then I get around these other people who are making 200, 300K a month, who are younger than me, and I'm smarter than them, more competent than them. And it just breaks every belief that you have about money. You're like, holy shit, this is what's possible? I didn't even know 100K a month I didn't even know that was a thing that anyone could strive for. I thought that was Bill Gates money. I made 100K in January. I made 143K in January. I'm a 6-figure earner by a good margin in the first month of the year. And I felt nothing. I'm just like, I need to go harder. I need to be doing more. And then once you realize that that's not even, man, like I know it sounds so privileged and it probably pisses you off for me to even say, but 100K a month is not that much money. That's not yacht money. That's not private jet money. It's good money if you don't really want any of the luxury things or fancy things. You just want to save money like Warren Buffett. It's good money, yeah. But that's not what I want, man. We got one life, right? We got one shot at this thing. I want to make sure that I live it to the fullest. And I never want to be able to, I never want to have to choose, oh, do I want to get this super nice villa in Cancun, or do I want to fly first class and get like a little like Airbnb, like 3-bedroom? I never want to have to choose that. I never want to have to decide and pick and choose which one I want. I want to just be able to say, I want the big mansion and I want a private jet. I want to fly private. I want to be able to choose that every single time. I don't want to have to say, oh, I don't want to get this little private jet, or do I want to like just fly coach and get this big mansion? Like, I don't want to have to choose. I want it all and you can have it all. But you got to unlearn these limiting beliefs, right? You got to unlearn the belief that you probably have in your brain, like, oh, I'll never be able to fly private. Like I'll never be able to own a jet. I'll never be able to own a yacht, you know? And whenever you start to unlearn these things, there's going to be so much resistance. Don't talk to anyone about it. None of them are going to be able to unlearn it. None of them are going to come with you. You can't bring anyone with you, man. You can't. They're not going to come with you. I promise you, bro. They're not. You are, if you're watching this and you are actually taking in this information right now, you are special. You are. Because most people are never going to even listen. They're not even going to take me seriously when I say these things. They're not. So stop talking to anyone else about it, because whenever you tell them, they're going to be like, dude, you sound ridiculous. And it's going to put so much negativity in your mind. It's going to put so much negative energy around you. Just don't talk to anyone about it. Just realize all of this stuff is possible and way more. Okay? 10K a month is broke. It's poor. You're poor if you're making 10K a month. Okay? And it's one thing for me to say it. It's one thing for you to say it. You have to genuinely believe it. And the best way to believe it is just by getting around money, or getting around people who are making a shit ton of money, way more than you. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if you got to walk into local businesses and beg the business owner to mentor you. I would just pay someone to get in a group and get around someone who you want to be like, who has done what exactly what you want to do, and get around a community of people who are trying to also do that thing. That's how I did it. That's how I broke all these beliefs, and it skyrocketed every single business that I have when I broke them. But you have to do it. I don't care what it takes. You got to unlearn these bad beliefs that have been implanted on you, okay? Number 2, you got to take action on these new beliefs to be able to prove it to your brain that you genuinely believe these things. So if you genuinely believe that 10K a month is not a lot of money, start acting like it. What does someone who makes 30K a month do on a daily basis? You already know the answer. You know the answer already. What would they do? Go write it down and do that thing every single day. It's not just one thing. It's what are their habits? What time do they wake up? Do they work out? Yeah, they probably do. They probably do work out. Do they eat healthy? They probably do. Do they drink a lot of water every day? They probably do. Go do all those things, right? And that's just to start, right? That's obviously just random examples, but there's a ton of things that the 30K a month version of yourself would be doing that you're not doing. Start doing those things today. Simple as that, man. And that proves to your brain that these new beliefs that you are learning and the old beliefs that are limiting you, that you unlearned, that you're genuinely unlearning and learning new beliefs. It proves to your brain, and you start acting like it. You start acting like the person who is capable of doing these things. I promise, guys, this is not woo-woo stuff. I'm not some crystal girl, some manifestation watching this secret documentary every day. I'm not that kind of person. I hate that stuff. But this stuff is real. And the quicker you learn that this is real and that you need to do these things that I'm talking about, if you want to genuinely be successful, if you want to do it quickly, the quicker you're going to get there. I promise, guys. Like, it's so important, but it's so hard to make people believe in this stuff. It's so hard. And then there's a lot of different little philosophy bullet points that I wrote down right here, okay? Just general philosophy stuff when it comes to YouTube. Number 1, the way I view YouTube and the way that I tell my clients to view YouTube, especially if you have a reaction channel, a commentary channel, or anything like that, is view yourself as if you are the gladiator in the arena that your audience sent out to give the opinions that they have that they're too scared to give online, right? And it's not always like super hyper political stuff or scary stuff to say online. Sometimes they're just camera shy and they don't want to go online, right? They don't want to appear on camera and say that they really like this new TV show, or they really like this song, or they really hate the president of the United States or whatever. Sometimes they're just scared to get on camera and say it. So view yourself as if you are the gladiator that they're sending out. What would they want you to say? And I know that sounds bad. I would never lie, but I'm going to say what the audience wants me to say. Why the hell wouldn't I do that? That's what's going to make me the most money, okay? Would you rather be right, or would you rather be rich? Would you rather say the thing that you know is right and that you really want to say? Or would you rather maybe dial it back a little bit, or maybe spin it a little bit so you can say the thing that your audience wants you to say so that you can be rich? That's something I repeat to myself all the time. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be rich? Okay? I'd rather be rich every time, okay? Now, this is something that I kind of hinted at earlier, that I've made a big shift recently in realizing, and it's really changed a lot of things, not just with business, but just with life in general. No pain, fear, guilt, etc., any emotion that you feel exist outside of self. You know, pain, fear, guilt, anything, happiness, it all exists only inside of self and it does not exist outside of that. Okay. I want you to think about something real quick. If you close your eyes, everything is gone. I know that sounds really stupid, but everything's gone, right? You look at the wall in front of you and you see a wall, right? And somebody else that you bring into the room, they also see a wall right there. But you have no idea what that person actually sees. The wall that they see, even though they say, hey, that's a gray wall. A gray wall to them could look completely different than a gray wall looks to you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like saying, describe the color red. You can't describe the color red. So red to one person can be a completely different color than red to another person. Maybe all of our eyes could work differently and we would never know. It's like the white and gold dress versus the blue and black dress. I actually used to see it as blue and black. Now when I look at it, it's white and gold, you know? And basically the point that I'm trying to prove is none of these things exist without you observing them and attaching a meaning to it. Basically what I'm trying to say, no, none of these emotions, these fear of you getting on camera exist outside of yourself. It only exists inside of you. That means you have full control over feeling that thing or not. You can decide to not feel it. You can. Okay? Anxiety, it exists inside of you. You can decide to not feel it. Happiness, you can decide to not feel it. It only exists inside of you. Or you can decide to feel the thing because you create it. You attach the meaning. Another thing, moving on back to the YouTube stuff, is all the answers that you're looking for on your YouTube channel are inside of the analytics. Okay? Everything that you need to know is inside of analytics. The YouTube analytics are so advanced and they're so powerful when you know how to use them and read them properly. All the answers are there. Just look at the analytics and you can tell if your click-through rate's down, you need to improve your titles and thumbnails and topic selection. If your watch time's down, you need to find ways to get people to watch longer. We went over all that stuff earlier on. All of the answers are in the analytics. Damn, I've been talking for a long time and it's hard to keep going. But we're gonna finish this thing out. So sometimes you're doing everything right and the views are still not there, right? Sometimes you look at the analytics and you're like, damn, my click-through rate's looking good, my watch time's looking good, but the views are just down. Sometimes YouTube goes through these periods, and this is most of the time it's not this. This is only for people who are advanced that can say these things or that have a coach or something, somebody to ask that they can look at and say objectively, okay, you're doing good. YouTube just needs to reset a little bit. Sometimes this is the case where you can do everything right, but YouTube just going through a little bit of a targeting adjustment, or YouTube is just there's some kind of algorithm reset, something changed with the algorithm. We don't actually know what's going on back there. So sometimes things just change and you need to just keep doing what is working, what is, that the analytics look good on, just keep doing those things. Every once in a while that will happen, not very, very often though, especially for beginners. Now, once again, all that matters is money in the bank. Another thing that people will come to me all the time and say is, Justin, I'm getting mean comments. People are saying I'm clickbaiting. What do I do? People are disliking my video. What do I do? I don't give a shit if people are disliking my video, saying that I'm a clickbaiter. If I open my YouTube studio right now on any one of my channels, I guarantee you 100%, I'd put my entire bank account on it. Somebody is calling me a clickbaiter on every single one of them. Every single one. In the last hour, somebody is going to be called me a clickbaiter. Possibly more than one. I don't care, because they're still watching the videos every single day. I get comments all the time that are like, clickbait, I'll never click another video from this channel ever. And I see them the next day commenting the same thing. Just ignore it. Who cares what these people are saying? If you're getting views on your videos and your subscriber count is going up, and most importantly, the dollar amount in your bank account is going up, keep doing the thing that is making that dollar amount go up in your bank account. Unless it's unethical, then keep doing it. That's all that matters. So ignore all the hate, ignore the mean comments. There's some people who prioritize being liked and feeling warm and cozy inside. And there's some people who don't give a shit about any of that and just want to make money. That's what I want to do. And that's what I like to help people to do. Okay? Just ignore all the negativity. It's going to exist no matter how hard you try to get rid of it. Just focus on making money. Okay? Just ignore it all, man. It's going to happen regardless. So, like I said, forget the comments, the dislikes, etc. Just make more money, man. Just focus on making money. All that stuff doesn't matter. The negative comments, the dislikes, the subscriber count. Ultimately, none of that stuff matters because we're here to learn how to make money on YouTube, right? Hopefully this video was helpful to you. it took me a long ass time. This is way longer than I thought it was going to be. I know I yapped at times, especially around the mindset stuff and the more woo-woo stuff, because I'm trying my best to make these things understandable and palatable to the everyday person that's working a 9-to-5 job that might not be watching all of the stuff that I watch on a daily basis, consuming the content, reading the books that I read. So it's hard for me to describe these things in more of a, a way that's more palatable, but hopefully I did a decent job at it. And, if you want to see if you'd qualify to join my coaching program, I'm accepting a couple people every month right now, because we've actually, we're pretty full, but I might be accepting a couple more people. Just check the link in the description. If the link is there to book a call, then we do have a couple of slots open. So go ahead and book a call with a link in the description. And, you'll just have a call with my COO. We'll go over a few things and just see if you're a good fit. If we can help you out, then we'll go ahead and, onboard you into the program and get you rolling, man, get you making a ton of money from the YouTube platform. But hopefully this video was helpful to you. Hopefully it did teach you how to grow on YouTube, how to get views on YouTube. And if you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate a like. I worked pretty hard on this thing. I'm actually losing my voice. So I'd appreciate a like, a comment, all that stuff. And, like I said, if you want to join the coaching program, you can go ahead and book a call with the top link in the description. But if not, no worries. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Peace.